I lost my glasses in the 2 seconds it takes to sit down. God damn it, BRB. Okay, I found the pair I wasn't looking for, but you know what? Honestly, I'll take it. Why am I? Never mind. I walked over, I sat down, and it was like, bitch, did you know you're listening to your own stream on YouTube? And I was like, motherfuck, what? Really? God damn it. But that's what was happening, actually. I was like listening to myself for some fucking reason. I think I was opening tabs. So what was I fucking doing if I was opening tabs, huh? That would make sense to find the fuck out. So, lovely YouTube people. Lovely YouTube people. Live chat, not top chat. Twitch motherfuckers. Hello, I love you as always. I love y'all equally, regardless of who the fuck you are, who made you, what platform you use, where you're from, or where you're going. What I care about is you in the now. Why? Because we're growing together. So why get hung up over anything aside from us having a fun little chilly old good old time? Being silly old geese. Trying to do our fucking best. To not eat ass. Off the mortal coil.
Bruh.
I was reading so much bullshit that is like so wicked unrelated to anything that we talk about. Oh my gosh. I have been reading I've been up in bullshit, bro. Like, holy fuck. Wait, am I not? What?
Bruh. Bruh.
Bruh.
Bruh.
Bruh. What did I just push? When you're me, and you just like fuck things up from dusk till dawn. Okay, 1 sec. I need 8 seconds, if you wouldn't mind. The last thing I have to do is our chat on the screen, our little on-screen chat. Wait, what?
Bruh.
Bruh. My dude, my guy. My guy, my dude, my dude, my guy. What? Sorry, I reached for my pocket and I thought I found my other pair of glasses and I was like, oh my gosh, please. Hey, I'll be like more focused in 1 second. Hold on. This next thing is a chore. Hold on. I started sorting things better that are supportive of the stream, so fun. Okay, sick. Yes. Gimme. Okay. What? No, hold on. Do, 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 do. Do, do, do. Do, 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 do. Okay, there we go. Got it. I'm bad at stuff. It's okay. Hold on. Oh gosh. Okay. Ready? Ready. Steady? Steady. Hi, y'all. Hope you're well. Sorry, I'm like slow to do stuff right now, apparently. I don't know. I guess I'm like at a crawl today. That makes sense. I do that sometimes. Yes, I want to close this browser page. Okay. Sorry, it was like the whole do dash of like, make sure that I actually have the correct chat attached inside of social stream, and we're just gonna be watching nonsense on the internet that I went to stare at today, which I think we sometimes call TintCon, jokingly. So hi, I'm your silly goose ass vegcom, and we're here to be fucking geese, or at least something. I don't know. Okay, we're already doing noise filtering on whatever's in the browser. Okay. Okay, hold on. Can I show you what TintCon looks like today and you can judge me? Please? I want you to judge me. Please? I need you to judge me. I'm scared. What the fuck just happened here? No, I'm scared because I think I just found someone 3D, like, editing some bullshit of a person. I think I found someone possibly AI editing a person, and I'm about to be dead. Pin tab. Hi. And I want to play a video game. We're here to watch Uyatubia play video game, recharge silly social battery. STEM. I need to launch STEM. The fuck was I doing? This feels like a bad idea. Don't judge me. Okay, no, my friend was like DS3 was on sale, and I've never gotten to play the third, and I actually missed playing the first Dark Souls, which I usually, that's the one time that I was like, you know, consistent with a controller, I guess, honestly. Because I would play like a few games with controller. It would be like that. And like, what the fuck else would I play? I'd play a shooter. What the fuck shooter would I play? Here's TintCon. Alright, so here's TintCon for the day. And you have to deal with this. I hope you're happy. Hey, goobers, I need something. Hold on, I'm doing the last thing I have to do as a person. I'm hiding on invisible in Discord so nothing like pops up in my fucking face. Okay, cool. Chill. Sick. Okay, I want to play games as well. So okay, it's 2024 and I am here because if this turns out to be someone used AI to edit up the Pikachu or is doing some other weird shit, I'm gonna just die. This is always funny. Like, there's still stuff we have to process here, but we can talk about that when we get here. Kickstarter leads. whole family is gone to appease a Walking Dead character that isn't like a real person. This seems a little more detached from what the fuck would make sense. But that's fine, not a lot makes sense to me. Like, honestly, not a lot. Like, I want things to make sense. Being honest. It's 2020 fuckballs 4. Do you think shit makes sense to me? Hell no. No, it doesn't. If I reload this, what's on the front page? Is it like, no, let's see. Is it toss on the front page? Can I reload this? Make it make sense. Can I reload it? Please? Please? Please don't toss us. Okay. I cannot refresh anime titties right now. Wait, can I? Nope, I cannot because AP. Because of the Associated Press. That's fine. No hate. Just love. I'm not actually miffed at the fucking AP, by the way. I'm mad at a lot of nonsense, like the way that I breathe and smell. And that I'm a goober. Not the rest. Oh my gosh. Okay, cool. No, I was making sure that I could not refresh anime titties. I can't. We wanted to be sure. I was. We move. It is somber. It is. It is very somber today, my loves. Why are we here? Because I can be.
Hi. So today we're going to look at one of the most, I think, most popular lolcows on TikTok. So this person that we're talking about, her name is Tofiuchu, and she is, like I said, a lolcow. When she first started becoming like super viral because she was like thirst trapping, if you consider a thirst trap, as a boss's daughter. I have a video here. I can pull it up. So she was thirst trapping.
What the fuck?
All kinds of people. I don't know who fell for it, but people were getting thirst trapped apparently. And she rose to fame because of it.
That doesn't look like thirst trap, man. That's
Okay, hold on.
like
Who's thirsty for that?
I don't know. I don't know who's thirsty for it, but
I was
it made
debating
her
trying to,
very
like,
popular.
Needle dick
she
the background
acts like
noise out, but I cannot.
like an undiscovered Pokemon.
Her father's known for catfishing. Her mother is supposedly like the sweetheart of the family. The brother's also supposedly sweet, but he's also the one who owed the job, the brother. But she doesn't like her brother. Yeah, and she has a very special interest for not our kind of Asian. She doesn't like us, but she likes the other kind of Asian.
I've heard that's called the yellow fever.
So apparently she posted this
The
on
weird
some
is gonna
website.
come too hard, and I don't know how to
trying
feel.
to find some Asian baddie that she could
Okay,
bag.
first, I'm reading AP in another browser.
Incorrect. Novel. I mean, it was supposed to
Secondly,
be novel, right?
This is what we're
In
watching.
the last picture.
Teschiarily,
It was supposed to.
here's a heart.
Yeah, it says in the books.
I heart you all
favorite
equally.
books.
I hope you're okay.
It said manga. I
appreciate
read mostly teenager books and romance novel.
Oh,
Yeah, that's a good catch.
look at this. Favorite clothes.
She said manga. I read in the last picture. That was
It was supposed to.
yeah, it says in the books favorite books. She said manga. I read mostly teenager books and romance novel.
Oh,
Yeah, that's a good catch.
look at this. Favorite quotes. Be the change you wish to see from the world. Mohandas Gandhi.
Yeah, I mean, that's not how you write someone's name. It should be like capital. And it's not like Mohandas Gandhi. It's Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi.
Look at the one below. He said Benjamin Franklin.
Gina Franklin. and this was posted on this subreddit Twitch. Seems to track everything about her. Yeah. 2 months ago.
Back then when she was actually young.
Dude, that's what I'm saying. Like, this subreddit is crazy.
I'm on my
have
goober shit
an
again.
entire fucking document on this one person's life.
She looks like Drake's sister for some reason in this clip.
Oh my
I mean, at
goodness.
least she hasn't fucked with
Like
the
the
Reddit.
face shape.
Yeah.
the
I don't
mouth
think that would go
shape.
the best.
Yeah,
Yeah.
dude, that's Drake. Even the skin color. Like, come on now, that's Drake.
I say,
Okay, I get it. You don't like my face. Ugh. Don't look at it.
I don't like my face.
I mean, I can't help that. I was born mixed. Do you think I could literally change things about my face? If I got plastic surgery, of course. Unless I want to go into...
Her,
No, I don't like my face, not
That's what
because
his
of
face
like
reminds me of
how it looks. I just don't like
Peter
me.
Pettigrew from Harry Potter.
I want to be better,
Harry Potter,
so I
Marsh, have
hate
to look him up.
myself. So I can like be
Uncultured,
better
so
and shit.
for everybody
Totally.
else is also uncultured. Let me do your soul real quick. Holy shit, bro. Yeah.
I know that whole video was about not bullying or anything, but you know, it's just uncanny. I couldn't.
Something about how people had watched her leak and how people were leaking her
eyes
stuff and
looks
saying
like
like,
bird
thanks
feathers."
for leaking it. You made me famous. Like,
Her
I'm
hair is
sorry.
like bird feathers. She was
No,
like,
the eyes, the shades. Yeah, it's looks weird, man. Looks unreal.
all right. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Drop a like, drop a subscribe. You know, put a
Oh, it
comment
does glow.
down below if you have no idea. And put a hashtag Dixon, because Dixon's the best. Fuck everybody else.
No.
Dixon?
Yeah.
Dixon.
Team Neil, Team Neil.
Dixon. Dixon. That was here. Okay. Hi. This sounds, though hyperbolic sounding, it sounds the most deadpan shit I've heard all year. I mean, so if all of the Statesians' people's socials are leaked, and if all of their ISP data is leaked, all I'm saying is, all it takes here is like one man named Vladimir to be like denazifying the US now. And you know, I laugh when I'm like quizzical, cold, scared, anything really. I basically laugh a lot when things aren't just like dead ass funny, but are like perturbing, right? All right, cool. Thanks for TentCon with
Hello,
me.
guys and
Let's
gals.
go
Me,
TentCon.
Mudahar, and I love talking about a good old-fashioned cybersecurity
Oh,
nuke
right.
that drops.
Do you?
Today, we're talking about how the Chinese government hacked your internet service provider. Now, of course, most of my audience is from the United States of America, so if you do live outside
way.
the U.S., congratulations, you
Ding
seem to be
dinger.
pretty safe right now. But if you're in the United States of America, you really don't have a whole lot of options for who you purchase your
dinger.
internet service from. Like airline companies, realistically, you look for the one that basically bends you over the barrel the least amount of times.
We're kind
Now,
of in
if you
there.
were ever associated to something like
Little bit.
AT&T or Verizon, there's a pretty good chance that the Chinese government may
Nope.
or may not have been spying on you through a tool that the feds developed to look through information for lawful access. Oh boy. So obviously, one of the things we want to start off with obviously this group that we're looking at is one that is identified as Salt Typhoon. Now, there's other groups like Volt Typhoon. A lot of these names are given by cybersecurity or organizations. So, for instance, this is a name that was given by Microsoft. Mandiant gave them the name UNC2286. ESET gave them Famous Sparrow, and Kaspersky Lab gave them Ghost Emperor, okay? For just the sake of this, I'm going to pick the coolest name, which is Salt Typhoon, and I'm going to go with that for the remainder of the video.
I
So
like
to give
it.
you an idea, earlier this year, we're going to go back in
don't
time
know.
a little bit, but
I'm a
February 7,
little
2000.
ambivalent about which one I think is best. UNC 2286. 2286. UNC 2286. Yeah, Salt Typhoon's killing it. I mean, especially if it levies Salt Stack. Like, imagine if it leverages Salt Stack. Okay, Hi, fellow people who like computers. Do we want it to be salt stack? Do we want to laugh at it? Don't judge me. Get your judgy fucking eyes. Get your judgy eyes. Keep them here.
UNC 2286. ESET gave them Famous Sparrow, and Kaspersky Lab gave them Ghost Emperor, okay? For just the sake of this, I'm going to pick the coolest name, which is Salt Typhoon, and I'm going to go with that for the remainder of the video. So to give you an idea, earlier this year, we're going to go back in time a little bit, but February 7, 2024, a PRC state-sponsored actor, meaning that literally the government, okay, somebody who is bankrolled by the government, meaning that they effectively have access to some of the best engineers, some of the best resources, an unlimited amount of money to basically rain cyber warfare against another country. So here's the thing. Because we're talking about keyboard warriors, there's no infiltrating other countries with like boots on the ground special forces. It's literally just keyboard jockeys sitting at their computers, typing in code to effectively launch nukes against other people, okay? And I'm talking digital nukes, gaining access for surveillance purposes, or in this case, maintain access to critical infrastructure. And if this doesn't scare you a little bit, it probably should. So what they effectively mentioned over here when combining with the CISA, the NSA, and of course Microsoft and the FBI, they assessed that the People's Republic of China, the PRC, literally found themselves positioning on IT networks for disruptive or destructive cyber attacks against actual US critical infrastructure in the event of a major crisis or conflict in the United States of America. So they were warning actual critical infrastructure and organizations about this, assessment. And of course, some of them involved the US Department.
Here's the thing. I filter all of the publications from them into a folder that I never read. I mean, I do read it. I gotta search it, actually. Like, periodically I search it for specific stuff.
Department of Energy, the Environmental Protection Agency, and the Transportation Security Agency. So this one alone scares the hell out of me. Like, if you ever flown, you probably noticed the TSA a lot at every airport. I mean, they pretty much federally control like all the, security that happens at the airport, right? For lack of a better term. So obviously, when invading and getting into these organizations, it should kind of scare you just a little bit when you're kind of sitting there realizing, oh my God. If you're sitting there at some of the most critical infrastructures, if worst case comes to worse and God forbid, like an attack ever happens or some disaster is occurring in the United States at the moment, there are aspects of that critical infrastructure, if it's destroyed, could be seriously catastrophic for every person out there. Meaning, people who are living in those regions, their lives could be affected, their information could be put at risk. I mean, you are talking about crippling a country. This is a serious matter, and it should be treated absolutely seriously. So obviously it's big balls when the government comes out and talks about it, but obviously China had to respond to this kind of stuff, and their allegations was wild, okay? They literally went out and said, listen, okay, it's no secret that the United States is the world's largest source of cyber attacks and the biggest threat to security. Now, I don't disagree. I think
Yeah, no, they are right. That is legit. That is true and to the point. The US launches cyber attacks on other countries, either privately because individual citizens do it knowing that there will be no repercussions, or in terms of government. We are what we say Russia is. Like, people in the States be talking like Russia's just a bunch of fucking random teenagers and government people just hacking everyone. No, that's the States, bro. I mean, it's everywhere at the computer, but like, monopoly on violence definitely maintains those lovely silicon bangers, those little silicon beaters that you can just love and adore, those little egg beaters made of silicon. As you rev them up, they start fucking shit up. It's real nice. So, I mean, being able to drop a lot of cash on that does help them do that. The monopoly on violence does stay true.
The NSA does about as much evil shit when it comes with computers to the rest of the world too. This is just big countries fighting amongst big countries. So they even...
Well, I mean, we also do trade a lot of the, like, what ours doesn't take, right? Like, so when our agencies harvest data, it's of citizens who don't live in the States. When Germany's government harvests data, it's of citizens who don't live in Germany. When Australia's government harvests data, it's of people who don't live in Australia. When the UK's government harvests data, it's from people who don't live in the UK. So they sell this data to each other. So the reason that the States has the States, Germany, Australia, UK's data is because they exchange it. So yeah, they won't do it to you directly, but they will receive material support that allows for it. This is true. Also, well, this is a little bit of a thing that I don't think Mood is hitting on, but I do think is remarkably relevant. Is amidst the security apparatuses that exchange information is a system which facilitates the well up your ass fucking exchange of all of our information without any real fucking stopgap. So yeah, enjoy that. Have fun there. Hey there, honey. How you doing today? Apparently, in quotes, China just hacked your ISP. Ellipses means China just hacked Verizon and, was it Comcast and Verizon? I forgot. I'll probably hear it again. But, oopies. But, so, it doesn't, like, the US has a monopoly on cyber attacks as well as violence. So we're dealing out a lot of them. I won't say the monopoly, but I will say we deal out a lot of them with our fancy silicon that goes vroom vroom, you know? Like, the thing that I always assumed when I was a kid and never really let go, my little fanciful thought of choice, is that one day future cryptographers will, for their homework in middle school or high school, uncover our lives one by one and dredge up everything and look at it bare. Like, I don't see any other thing, because what do? We look at archaeology, we read the journals of people dead thousands of years ago and treat it like whatever. Well, there should be more nuclear plants. They should be safe and built to standards not implemented ubiquitously in the States until recent, but we should defer to international body for standards, especially leaning on the UK, which has kind of killed it for making like well and safe reactors. Also, Russia killed it, well and safe reactors. Like, we can always point to, like, you know, 3 Mile and a few other events and be like, oh, but what? But really, have we seen another issue since? Okay, cool. And now we're transitioning into nuclear fusion and getting away from fission, which the cool part about that is there's no more runaway reactions, right? It loses power with fusion and it turns off. It loses power with fission and you can't inhabit an area for a few hundred years. The bootstrap is a little bit of power that you can store in batteries or generate, like, from naturals, like natural gases if you really have to. But you can pump it through and then push everyone back to deferring to the other thingy, you know? Like, hey there. Well, no, it's like, okay, with China, in quotes, hacking our ISPs for Verizon and Comcast, with Russia being alleged to have taken everyone's socials as well, how long do you think it's going to be till Mr. Putin decides that he's going to just snuff out the knots, denazify the states as well? Wouldn't that be a thing that should be in our minds periodically? Yeah, because you could always derive them mathematically. Leave the check bits, or leave a few bits, the check bits consistent. Yep, it was always something you could generate with a little bit of time and a little bit of know-how. Wasn't ever hard. Yep. We were never protected. We were given a guise so other people could take everything we had and defend themselves as we lost it, saying it wasn't their fault. They took protections, but those protections weren't protections. Oh yeah, and it doesn't work for it at all. By no means. It was a terrible choice, a worse implementation. You know? Give me a UUID, right? UUID, like, take a photo of the stars, take my second of birth, and then make a UUID, make a UUID, and now make a hash that's unique for me, and now salt it. I want you to like make a salt that's unique for me. Okay, take this first component. That's good. We leave this around, right? I want a salt that I am issued at birth, and I want this to be used to sign some other shit that then goes into a ledger. And whenever people ask who I am, I give them the thing from the ledger. And whenever they need to know, like, double sure who, if I'm like for realsies or for play, and they need to know that it's secure, I give them the thing sans the salt, you know? Yeah. Well, I remember when I was in my late teens, and the papers we had then were theorizing that we would have broken, like, what was it, RSA 1020 by the 2010s. Sorry, by 2020. Like, we're in the time where we already suspected that we would be fundamentally breaking RSA up to like 8,000 bits. Like, we are here several years into what I as a child was privy to, we stipulated would be the time that all the cryptography we still depend on for a lot of shit, inclusive of maintaining our critical infrastructure, would be fundamentally no longer worth it, a poor investment, and shitty. And what happened? We've been saying this since 2007. We have been saying this since 2006. We have been saying this since 2005. We've been saying this in 2012 and in 2010, and we said it in 2017, and we're saying it in 2020, and again in 2024. The expiration date of a lot of our income for a lot of our encryption is way past. And I don't know where the disconnect is. Because, like, yeah, we do okay signing for, like, ephemeral shit nowadays, but, like, the infrastructure itself is still, like, you know, you have to do so much extra to heft it. That's the thing, is people do go through extra. Like, at this point, you can, like, use a YubiKey with your SSH, for instance. You can do a lot of many things to actually, like, ascertain if someone is who they say they are, like, data-wise. They don't defer to social security numbers. Honestly, give me a YubiKey when I'm born, and just, like, crank that fucking salted, give me the hash that's the things about my, like, biometrics, and take a photo of the stars or some bullshit. Give me that resultant number or some shit. Give that to me. You hash it and you put it in a DB. Fine, give me that. Fuck it. Anyone wants to run it, they gotta do something that reverses into that. Fuck them. Fuck them. Well, that's like, we've had access to public access quantum computing for a long time, honey. Like, you can go online right now and, like, go use a public access quantum computer. Like, right now, you've been able for years, though. Well, yeah, like, this is, like, you could use Intel's, though, right? Or IBM's, rather. Like, you can use hella big qubit systems, 127 qubits. Remember how many bits and how much memory we had 20 years ago? It's not stable, but when was DOS? We don't have fucking abstractions that make this easy yet. We don't have fun and useful paradigms to defer to that make all this fucking nonsense that seems, like, inconsistent make it make more sense. We still haven't tossed a fucking, like, I don't know, honestly. I was tripping when I was like, holy shit, someone could train, like, a learning system on an FPGA. And then motherfuckers at NVIDIA started building GPUs for, well, also, you know, NVIDIA is currently selling they revealed Blackwell. Okay, cool. So they're kind of doing a similar paradigm to how we see in FPGAs, kind of, right? You now have like a lovely integrated package where you have all this substrate and you can just modularly drop shit in, and now you can now attach these in series too. Hey Rexy, how you doing? So, like, my point being, I guess, is that nowadays, so they can make these, right? And you put 1 or 2 in here, but now they can, like, strap as many of an arbitrary number of these together as they want to. They can make these as long and as thick as they have not described if there is an upper limit to how thick their clusters can be. My point being that I like is we're waiting for them to use less power consumption. That is like a very important thing. They are going to try to... When people are mad that AI is killing the planet, which is a valid concern and OpenAI is not helping, NVIDIA, hate to say it, did a useful thing. Trying to make lower power consumption integrated GPU components means that as Microsoft refuses and tech bros refuse to stop cooking our goddamn planet, we will now do it more slowly, with fewer therms. That's not great, but it's better than shitty, you know? So, now imagine, like, they also misgendered Ada Lovelace when they tried to, like, talk about this in their press release, and it was, like, actually terrifying. Yeah, we bounce around. Well, Mudahar was talking about how, in quotes, China just hacked your ISP, as in the United States, both Comcast, if I'm correct, and Verizon, if I am correct, 2 ISPs in the United States. Their data got popped because the FBI wrote a program. We'll just go to the start. It was like 4 minutes. We'll go to the start. FBI wrote a program that allowed them to breach ISPs. And they're alleging, now the United States investigative services are alleging that China has been leveraging this to do something, which China writes back in a very scathing and beautiful letter. I love when governments bicker, okay? I love bickering governments. So there's a new bit of, like, there's some new tea on the block, right? So first off, yeah, YT chat's working, I see you. I said hi, Rexy. Hi there. But like, okay, so this isn't that strange, right? People in the States act like Russia hacks everything, but to be fair, the States hacks everything. Look at it. Like, everyone with computers probably does, but the States has a lot of fucking capital and a lot of computers. Access to shunt Taiwan semiconductors access to shit, and the desire to flaunt this and wave their dicks around, you know? So, just saying, when you can limit the silicon that gets other places and you're depending on silicon to do these operations, you contribute into some, like, monopoly on some, like, cyber violence bullshit now too. All right, cool. Now that tip aside. Like, so would you look at it as, like, there's probably just, like, random, because, like, it's usually just random fucking, like, high schoolers and governments hacking everything anyways. Rexy, I've been giving you a goddamn summary the whole time. You're good. Chill. And it's only 4 minutes into the video and I'm already explaining shit that's gone on for 8 minutes plus that transcends the content of the goddamn video. We're good. Trust me. Me going on to this is because I love stuff. Like, me talking about how this computation thing works is a fucking tangent because I happen to love things, and we're talking about encryption and how it impacts shit like this. And the statements that were made here, and this is our background stuff. Chill. You don't have to understand everything, but ask when you don't about the exact thing you don't, and I can help from there. Okay, so you have free access to quantum computing. Now we have lower power consumption, GPU, aggregate infrastructure that's being used to train AI with less power consumption and cooking our planet less. So while OpenAI and Microsoft destroy our planet and toss it away, NVIDIA's, at least while being a bunch of weirdos, trying to make lower energy consumption shit, which means that we'll at least have fewer therms to cool, and then we're good. Let's see. Public access quantum computing, NVIDIA killing it. This is their new shit. You can arbitrarily stack these together. So they use less power, great. That's not great. But my point being, the tech bros who invest so much time into, maybe, I'm gonna probably wait though, because I'm used to the instability being my greatest chore. So, like, I might do the upgrade, but I'm probably gonna wait some time always, you know? So quantum computers are just there for everyone to, like, do stuff with. They're there for you. They're there for me. They're there for everyone. They're public members. You can access quantum computing it's been up since 2016. Like, the encryption that people depend on today, when it was 2007, we stipulated that we would be breaking all of the encryption that we use today over 14, 15 years ago. Like, we made the assumptions that said the encryption we still depend on fundamentally, and the ways that we package and submit and send our data would be falling apart fundamentally by at least 2 years ago. Like in 2023, we thought a lot of it would fail in 2023, if I'm correct, or 2022-ish. This was back in 2010 and, 2005. So you think that's bad? Well, cool. We don't need them to have we don't need a government to wait for a quantum computer. Also, you know what bridges the gap between quantum and currently classical computing with silicon and doing things in that current way we modulate EM means? Well, there's a really nice transitionary thing. NVIDIA is going to be consistently killing it for things that you can arbitrarily use for computation, and they're using similar implements like quantum computing would be, and like FPGAs would, same tool set, right? But they might have found a more efficacious paradigm for what the people who are trying to cook the planet at OpenAI and Microsoft want, which is to train some weird shit that they don't get permission from the artists they steal from for. But this uses less power, so it likely does not contribute to the very vicious death of our planet as quickly. The word supercomputer is too arbitrary. It doesn't have enough stance in it. You can't tell what kind of you'd be talking about a classical computer or a quantum computer, or are you talking about an FPGA, an ASIC, or some kind of a GPU thing, which I don't think this works for anymore. I want to honestly think we need to have a more appropriate thing for what we call this. I'm looking. It's LLM compiler reduced interface. Sorry, LLM interfacing machine. Wait, the fuck do we want to do? Because if we call it, okay, it does say Blackwell GPU architecture. Eat my ass. It's still a GPU. You fucked yourself. I was trying to look for your preferred nomenclature, and you motherfuckers put GPU in there. Bro, don't even fuck with me. So they're making this to go into data centers being the thing, and you can slap as many of them together as you want. They use less power, and so people who want to cook the planet will cook it less quickly. Good. Less power means less heat, preferably. That's not necessary, but we hope. Okay, cool. I was only 4 minutes into the video, dude. We've been talking about this for a while. It's good.
Hello, guys.
Rexy, I care about higher level stuff, and it's okay to not make it make sense right now. If we haven't pressed play on the video since you've been here, you'll get context soon. But right now, there's no reason to pause and wait more when we're kind of just...
Gals, me Mutahar, and I love talking about a good old-fashioned cybersecurity nuke that drops. Today, we're talking about how the Chinese government hacked your internet service provider. Now, of course, most of my audience is from the United States of America, so if you do live outside the U.S., congratulations, you seem to be pretty safe right now. But if you're in the United States of America, you really don't have a whole lot of options for who you purchase your internet service from. Like airline companies, realistically, you look for the one that basically bends your...
Oh, by the way, a lot of smaller companies buy space from the larger ones. So I wouldn't only limit it to the two that they list as impacted until we receive more information. Because dependent on the data yielded, it can go deeper.
Over the barrel.
Yeah, but currently holy shit, is this the appropriate nomenclature? I don't want to fuck up. Okay, I didn't fuck up. Okay, cool. Let's go deep. This is Five Eyes. So, United States steals data from every nation. Canada, every nation. UK steals data from every nation. Australia steals data from every nation. Each of them cannot steal their own citizens' data. Each of them have contracts to sell the data that they steal. So the US sells data. The US steals everyone's data, so they steal Australian citizens' data. Australia can't take Australian citizens' data, but the US sure can, and so can the UK. So what do these two do? Well, these take everyone's data, these take everyone's data, and they trade. You're not safe. No one's safe. We built it on a flimsy system when people told us better, and we didn't listen. And our infrastructure got built like that. And then our world got predicated upon that. Okay, so then UK steals everyone's data, right? And this is the contract upkept in the Five Eyes intelligence services as a fucking program. They do this. They trade data. They are explicitly made so they can circumvent the own governments not being able to spy on their citizens, for fuck's sake. They can't spy on their own citizens, so the UK can spy on US citizens and EU citizens, right? So what do? They spy on the UK spies on US. Why did I point here? Because I've been playing Terra Invicta, and currently the Eurasian Union and the EU have merged, and they have taken up most of fucking Brazil. And we have also made everything into, like, we now have the Pan-Asian Combine. It's a whole mess. Like, it's some shit. Indonesia did its due, you know? But anywho's, so we are really at a cool point where everyone can steal everyone's data. That's great. That's not great. But because of that, UK steals AU, US, CA data. They sell it to them. This one, it's an exchange. This is why Five Eyes functions this way. So, no, you're not safe. No, we're not safe. We're just present. We're here. We're present. We're accounted for. We're chilling. We're having fun. We're breathing. We're hoping for better days. We're working for them hard. We're caring about each other and those whom we don't know too. That's all we are.
The least amount of times. Now, if you were ever associated to something like AT&T or Verizon, there's a pretty good chance that the Chinese government may or may not have been spying on you through a tool that the feds developed to look through information for lawful access. Oh boy.
But you have to access it for external shit.
One of the things you want to start off with
Unless you
obviously
ad hoc
this group that we're looking at
from other
is
people's
one that
stuff.
is identified as Salt Typhoon. Now, there's other groups like Volt Typhoon. A lot of these names are given by cybersecurity or organizations. So, for instance, this is a name that was given by Microsoft. Mandiant gave them the name UNC2286. ESET gave them Famous Sparrow. And
when I was a whippersnapper, we used to like take apart our laptops before we traveled, change out the drive, put a new drive in, put the screws in, put nail polish on the screws. So if someone breached it, to like remove the screws to fuck with the RAM or the hard disk, we could physically see that they had to fuck the nail polish on the screws up. And that's how we travel as children.
Kaspersky Lab gave them Ghost Emperor, okay? For just the sake of this, I'm gonna pick the coolest name, which is Salt Typhoon, and I'm gonna go with that for the remainder of the video.
It's
so to give you an idea, earlier this year, we're going to go back in time a little bit, but February 7, 2024, agency, a PRC state-sponsored actor, meaning that literally the government, okay, somebody who is bankrolled by the government, meaning that they effectively have access to some of the best engineers, some of the best resources, an unlimited amount of money to basically rain cyber warfare against another country. So here's the thing. Because we're talking about keyboard warriors, there's no infiltrating other countries with like boots on the ground special forces. It's literally just keyboard jockeys sitting at their computers, typing in code to effectively launch nukes against other people, okay? And I'm talking digital nukes, gaining access for surveillance purposes, or in this case, maintain access to critical infrastructure. And if this doesn't scare you a little bit, it probably should. So what they effectively mentioned over here when combining with the CISA, the NSA, and of course Microsoft and the FBI, they assessed that the People's Republic of China, the PRC, literally found themselves positioning on IT networks for disruptive or destructive cyber attacks against actual US critical infrastructure in the event of a major crisis or conflict in the United States of America. So they were warning actual critical infrastructure and organizations about this, assessment. And of course, some of them involved the US Department of Energy, the Environmental Protection Agency, and the Transportation Security Agency. So this one alone scares the hell out of me. Like if you ever flown, you probably noticed the TSA a lot at every airport. I mean, they pretty much federally control like all the, security that happens at the airport, right? For lack of a better term. So obviously when invading and, getting into these organizations, it should kind of scare you just a little bit when you're kind of sitting there realizing, oh my God, if you're sitting there at some of the most critical infrastructures, if worst case comes to worse and like, you know, God forbid, like an attack ever happens or some disaster is occurring in the United States at the moment, you know, there are aspects of that critical infrastructure, if it's destroyed, could be seriously catastrophic for every person out there. Meaning, you know, people who are living in those regions, you know, their lives could be affected, their information could be put at risk. I mean, you are talking about crippling a country. This is a serious matter and it should be treated absolutely seriously. So obviously it's big balls when the government comes out and talks about it, but obviously China had to respond to this kind of stuff, and their allegations was wild, okay? They literally went out and said, listen, okay, it's no secret that the United States is the world's largest source of cyber attacks and the biggest threat to security. Now, I don't disagree.
I mean, when you get to control if Taiwan Semiconductor gets semiconductor fuel to keep those semiconductor egg beaters running and making semiconductor cake.
Yeah, I think the NSA does.
And that's who NVIDIA has to like immediately go and plead to as the only intermediary until we get this. I don't know. Anglosphere intelligence analyzing compromising Australia, Canada, New Zealand, the United Kingdom, the United States. These countries are party to the multilateral UK/USA agreement, a treaty for joint cooperation in signals intelligence. Informally, Five Eyes can refer to the group of intelligence agencies in these countries. The term Five Eyes originates from a shorthand for AUS CAN NZ UK US Eyes only. Alright, legit.
About as much evil shit when it comes with computers to the rest of the world too. This is just big countries fighting amongst big countries. So they even said that group Volt Typhoon, no, that's not us. That's a group that calls themselves the Dark Power. And it's not sponsored by any state or region. The Dark Power. Like straight up the Order from Silent Hill is just fucking infecting your computers, huh? So obviously China says, can we just stop smearing us? It's not us, ladies and gentlemen. It's just another group that, the Dark Force that has unlimited...
Honestly, us trying to suppose state actors before we can actually provide attestation of where it originated from definitively and have someone go through a fucking court system is giving big lazy, you know? It is fucking, it's not that great, you know?
Resources, the fucking League of Villains that have decided to attack you, not us. So fast forward to recently today, another group that Microsoft has dubbed, as we talked, Salt Typhoon, ended up actually apparently hacking in to Verizon and AT&T. Now, if you looked at, you know, the people that initially broke this, I think it's the Wall Street Journal.
And don't forget, who owns Verizon? Who owns AT&T? Who leases from AT&T? Who leases from Verizon? That would account for a lot of places. But hello, how are you doing? But I do really want attestation before people keep launching assumptions and accusations at people already subjugated by a lot of prejudice that the United States spurs up for no other reason than shits and giggles, you know?
The actual scary part about this was apparently China had access to some of these groups for allegedly months or longer, okay? They were just sitting there harvesting information or looking through stuff. So what was discussed was a cyber attack tied to the Chinese government penetrated the...
Because who uses T-Mobile? Isn't it like... What company leases from T-Mobile? Boost Mobile, Build Wireless, Care Mobile, Cell Nuvo. Okay. Oh, because T-Mobile as okay. Who didn't Verizon and T-Mobile? Hold on. I feel like it was T-Mobile and Verizon thing. Is T-Mobile part of Verizon's network? On January 6, 2014. Come on, let's go. Tab, come on. I like to read. On January 6, 2014, T-Mobile signed agreements with Verizon Wireless to purchase some 700 megahertz A-block spectrum licenses. Okay, that's all there was. All right. It was an acquisition of bandwidth. Like, literally bandwidth. Literally bandwidth. That's pretty cool. That's legit. Merger with Sprint Corporation. 2018, T-Mobile US and Sprint Corporation announced their intention to merge. Although the US Justice Department initially approved the merger on the 26th of July 2019, the attorneys general from several states filed a lawsuit with the U.S. District Court of Southern District of New York and to block it. It alleged the merger would result in higher prices for customers in the range of $4.5 billion annually. I mean, you gotta stop those monopolies.
Networks of a swath of U.S. broadband providers, potentially accessing information from systems the federal government uses for court-authorized network wiretapping requests, okay? So for months or longer, the hackers might have held access to network infrastructure.
Welcome to America, computers in my area.
Used to cooperate with lawful U.S. requests for communications data. According to people familiar with the matter, which amounts to a major...
Again, as someone who remembers when we were talking about, like, RSA up to 8,000, like, RSA 1024 times 8, whatever the fuck that is, 1024 times 8. I'm not gonna fuck this up. 8192 bits of RSA failing by the year 2020. I remember in 2005, in 2007 and 2010 when we talked about how the things that the critical infrastructure providers leverage to move and connect with their systems and facilitate anything. We've been saying that was going to fail in the 2020s since 20 years ago.
National security risk. The attackers also had access to other tranches of more generic internet traffic.
Like, the United States is nothing shy of negligent with its own people. Their data is prejudiced towards everyone who they assume they can call, like, honestly, the United States just likes levying hate against all of Asia. From Afghanistan to the tip of Russia, for one fucking reason or another, my countrymen like to launch hate. I don't know why. I don't approve of what they do. I actually firmly fucking disavow them when they do this. However, they do this like fucking constantly. It's fucking weird. Do you think they realize they're being fucking weird, prejudiced fucks? Do you think they do that? Do you think they think that when they read their initial press releases?
They said. So obviously, hacking an internet service provider is a pretty big deal. To give you an idea of what that means, when you purchase your internet service from somebody, they're your internet service provider. They're also the internet service provider for plenty of
like, I'm just saying that the United States,
in fact, if you go down,
is pretty fucked up. Like, they will find a way. If you are from any of Asia, from Afghanistan to the tip of Russia, down to like if you are any of our Aboriginal family, they will find a fucking way, my dude. I don't approve of it, but like, for fucking real, people can't, like, and it's not as loose as this article gives. This one says it's for people who are at a particular portion in their citizenship. Not my recollection, and I could be fuckballs wrong, of the actual court fucking report, is that they want people who you may not, without the government annexing it, have a home in Florida. If you or someone who lives with you also owns a home in China. They'll just take your home, or they'll take you to court to take your home. Yeah, it is, honey. Well, it's not even just racism that it levies. It levies prejudice because it's lazy. It doesn't stop at racism because it continues on to ageism. It doesn't stop at ageism and racism, it goes to colorism. It doesn't stop at ageism, racism, and colorism. The prejudice of which we think we can ascertain shit about anyone from what they look like rather than what they say to us, and that we should, like, and we can't interpret how they say it to us, We just have to patiently listen, be patient and mindful, compassionate and caring, and mindful and kind. Just mindful, kind, and patient. The fuck all I ask. Literally, that's all I even ask for when I'm in a relationship.
The road,
Any kind of relationship. Even where I have to sit down with someone for 2 hours and listen to them blather about some bullshit.
it's these internet service providers and the method of routings that they use when they communicate with other internet service providers that keeps the internet active and monitoring as a whole. So what they were specifically talking about here and what could allegedly have happened was that there were some wiretapping techniques that the Federal Bureau or law enforcement had in conjunction with these internet service providers that could have been breached. Now, from time to time, I've made several videos talking about privacy.
If you put in a backdoor in a secured service, it's not a secured service. If you as a government, a person, an individual, whatever, a corp, puts in a backdoor so you can do something, it's not a backdoor. Do you know how easy it is to reverse engineer software? When I was 12 years old, cracking open fucking Ollie debug, and then learned about fucking IDA? Bro, a 12-year-old could break your shit. What? Are we fucking? What, you're gonna pack it better and code it differently? Okay, cool. Sure.
Being at risk.
Sure.
And I've talked about how important
See how that
encryption
goes.
technologies
Try.
really are, and why I always stand with protecting them rather than fighting against them. And generally,
That said, we were supposed to move away from what we currently levy almost 3 years ago now.
people have usually countered and said, but Muda, what
Oh no, honey, that's my honeypot. Connects to that.
if the
Go for it.
feds had like a secret key that only they could use to look into potential criminal messages and, you know, put these people to
I'm not
justice?
rolling my eyes at
And
Muda.
while that
We said the same
sounds
thing.
really nice and perfect,
I'm rolling my eyes at the
this
feds.
is the perfect example of why you cannot have a third key. In this
You know how they keep wanting, like, an internet that they can always get into the back of? Okay, so honestly, bets. Let's talk about grim shit. Okay, so now that, like, ISP data is out, and every US citizen's social is likely breached, what are the chances that you think Mr. Putin is gonna mention denazifying the United States before I turn sleepy?
situation, apparently the third
Oh, I don't get sleepy for years on end, though. That's the thing, so. How many years do you think it'll be? Days? Hours? What? Shoot, spit. Tell me what you think.
key, which was
Put it
these
in the comments.
pieces of software, could have been allegedly hijacked and used by the Chinese government to effectively run an operation against the people of a totally different country. And at worst case scenarios, people in the government or law enforcement directly themselves. So I wanted to look at just like the kind of,
Yeah, but those are the people who enabled it, though.
tactics that they were using. So of course, Ghost Emperor, which again revealed to be Salt Typhoon by Microsoft, they were talking about, you know, what type of tools that they were using in order to attack other countries. So obviously what they
Ghost Emperor, Salt Typhoon. So it doesn't levy. If it levies Salt Stack, then I'm down with Salt Typhoon. I feel like they're doing some weird imperialism head nod with that Ghost Emperor shit. And I'm a little bit skeeved, I'm gonna be honest. Because it's like, Ghost Emperor, a Chinese Nexus threat group.
bring to the table is something known as the Demodex rootkit to basically evade endpoint detection and response, impede sandbox analysis, so, you know, using a virtual machine to look at how this stuff
Honestly, what do they call themselves? Do they even call themselves anything? Is there like something they leave in their code base or in an artifact that we can levy to like know what to properly address them as, so we're not just guessing around like a bunch of fucking assholes that assume and assumptive fucks?
kind of works so you can better protect yourself, and use reflective loaders to run in memory to deploy things like Demodex. So what they mentioned obviously is Ghost Emperor, which is a Chinese Nexus threat group, again, associated with the actual government right there. So what they said was Demodex, the updated version, uses legitimate Windows tools,
Okay, so they're levying an existent organization to name an artifact a fucking indicator of compromise? That is dirty. That's a tribute. You know how I keep getting bitchy about how you shouldn't make statements about attestation or attribute those things? Oh my god. Hold on, let's have a little giggle. Can we have a giggle really quick? Can we? Please, please, Can we try to remember where to go for the giggles? Okay, cool, thank you. Where do I find the giggles here? I forgot. Yo, help me. How do I find it? Bitch. Oh, you got me. Wait. That's the people who do this. Hi, hold on. I'm giving you a link. Give me a second. Do you still... The legal threats you've received, certified pre-owned, errata, main page, is it? No. Reviews, movies, disclaimer, about, staff, Q, how, misc, sure. This is cute though. This is cute, by the way. Hi. We're doing something and I forgot how the internet works. Don't make me. Misc, movies, no, it's not gonna be that. Boxes of shit, what, why, fach, news, okay, what, the fuck, man page, the text of, no, ass hats, is this it? Is it ass hats? Come on, ass hats. Oh, previous postal entry. Oh, hold on. Okay, hold on. Once national security advisor, want to be national cybersecurity advisor and a charlatan. Ends up being just an asshat. Give the innate amounts of babble to come from Joseph K. Black via Facebook and Twitter in late January 2011. We'll spare everyone a lot of gory details and just post a few short examples of why Black will not only never obtain his dream job of National Security Advisor, but will likely end up working at the counter at the Runza near you at some time in the near future, provided he doesn't end up in prison. Simply put, Black has designs on being appointed National Security Advisor by the Obama administration. While that in itself may be an admirable goal, Black seems to think that self-promotion, being top 10 on searches results, and outlandish claims through social media outlets will help his cause more than, say, actual experience and contributions to the security industry, cyber, in quotes, or otherwise. Moving into future, his big thing became something fictional. Mega community. Google it. No, bitch. I'll just click here. It's easier. Thank you. Thank you. I thought I almost gave birth to a demon for a moment. I was about to start fucking celebrating, you know? Give birth to a demon through your mouth. Next thing you know, wedding bells getting hitched off to Belzy. Okay, let's go. So a 15-year career InfoSec is ended because I didn't join your fictional mega community. Gotcha. Joseph K. Black says, attrition, dude. Do I have to school you in everything, bruh? https://on.fb.me/G uppercase C uppercase C G uppercase I uppercase F lowercase s. I run cyberspace. Full fucking stop. No goddamn spaces though. Get up to speed, bitch. The mega community is real. Did I read that good? Are you proud of me? Did I do a good job? Okay, cool. Good. Okay, good. I'm glad we did a good job there. Okay, cool. With his inability to use Twitter and Facebook correctly, posting everything 3 or 4 times, he betrays the notion that he's an expert in everything. I mean, yeah, people do that sometimes. Because really, Twitter is hard to figure out. According to Black, he is the bin... Fuck me, what? I don't have Facebook, so that's nice. One of these days. Nah, never. Fuck that. More of it. It's on Twitter. I can look at that shit. I can laugh at this. I can laugh at this. Oh shit. Fuck you. Fuck you, Elon. I'm looking at your shit and I don't have an account. Eat my asshole. Toss my butt cheeks, bruh. Fuck you. 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 Okay. No, the platform, not the person. The person's probably doing whatever. I'm assuming they cleaned their shit up and like got like to out of what they were doing. You can hope people grow and learn and develop as time goes. You'd never expect someone to start off having to get blown their shit up and to hope that they would do anything less than grow just doesn't seem kind. So let's just keep having a giggle. I just did my second. Okay, I'm gonna read what this person wrote on the internet because this is the TintCon. This is indeed the TintCon. Yep, I would call this TintCon. This is woefully, firmly and truly TintCon. Oh, Joseph K. Black. The screenshot from twitter.com on attrition.org reads that Joseph K. Black on Twitter stated, on January 9th, what year is this? Fuck if I know. 2011 probably, because it's when it says it's fucking copyright at for Twitter and they keep that shit updated, so maybe that. Alright. Joseph K. Black says, I just did my second line of coke and it's only 4:15. Wow, good stuff. I love my job. Just added a new member to the Blackenberg. Hashtag mega community, exclamation mark. Swag. At attrition.org, you're just jealous. The feds haven't taken you off the grid yet. Sucker, I'm untouchable. I got the feds in my pockets. I'm comfy. Says Joseph K. Black on Twitter. January 26th. This is a squiggly splooch. It's one of the 6s or 8s. No one can fucking tell. They blend together. Fuck you. 2011, we're stipulating because it says copyright 2011 Twitter. I don't fucking know. Alright, dicks. Alright. Oh, you haters can drop. Eat a dick, son. I'm gonna be national security advisor. I told mom and she said I was gonna get in my way and experience this cyber weapon. I'll get you, bub. Fuck with me. Oh, god damn it. How do I get to this man's thing, though? I forgot. No, I forgot how to get to this man's thing. Okay. There's other charlatans here that I can't find right now, and I want to find them, I think. If memory serves, Mr. Evans might be, but I could be incorrect in misremembering. Names are hard. Okay, good. Yeah, we're just going to talk about 2010 cybersecurity shit for a minute. How you feel about that? Let's take this little break from Mudahar's modern day cyber fucking landscape bullshit. I just want to say cyber, cause I can like mention it 3 times now. Like the 1990s will come back and people will just be on AOL typing and there'll be no more images and not enough bandwidth for people to do weird shit. Okay, let's go. Actually, I do want to move a lot of data, so fuck that. But also, people say I should join up with Joseph K. Black. I got to say this. Joseph K. Black, you went full... Fuck you, man. No, I don't even have to give Gregory Evans a fucking read. I'm pretty fuckball sure that if I just do this, that if I like make my way over here, yeah, I'm pretty sure if I make my way over here to the errata charlatans, it wasn't errata. Okay, there we go. And then I find this gentleman who's just, instead of stream, just like, the only way I can stream is to like actually go to this flash can. Lol. They'll start running a fucking streaming camp where they'll just work us to our bones. as Bezos milks us harder than people are accusing Pegasus of milking anything. We'll get fucking milked by that person. There'll be no content or no transformity in that person, tell you that much. It's Bezos. Bro's basically running borrow off Alibaba. What else do you think it's proliferated with now? Yeesh. Anywho's, this is the other person who they're quoting. We can come here next, it's fine. Yeah, this will be fun. We'll get here. It should be noted that before Black went, fuck you, bro, as mentioned above, Liger did try to personally and privately contact Black twice via email to open a dialogue. Neither email was answered. Dun dun. Hey Joe, I've noticed over the past few days you've mentioned Black and Berg over the few different social media outlets, and most noticeably Twitter and Facebook. Some of the posts have been somewhat curious, to say the least. Since you apparently have a variety of security industry certifications, I'm curious about your reasoning behind some of the comments I, as well as other professionals in the industry, have seen. This is intended to be criticism, just reaching out to see if your messenger is intended to be serious, marketing, ploy, or a mixture of both, or something else we haven't quite figured out yet. Whether he's overzealous, delusional, or a net nook, or simply a troll. Net kook, or simply a troll. We're done with him. Desperate and irrelevant. Black has had his 15 minutes of notoriety, not fame. Maybe infamy. Not fame. As he probably thinks. And all good trolls. His time too has passed. Bye, Ian. And it all comes full circle. He isn't relevant enough to include on a Rada charlatan, so he ended up here on postal ass hats. Okay. Wait, there's stuff to read. This message is to Osama bin Laden. This man, Joe Black, says that he forgives you, and that he's been an information security person for a long time. I think they would bring him in and revoke this if this were the case, though, right? Wouldn't they bring him in and revoke this if this were the case? Sorry, I just had to reread that. My brain. For some reason, I read Secret Plus. My brain broke. My brain broke. Oh my god. Joseph K. Black says, OMG, I smoked some weed called Blueberry Muffin Tops, and I was so high I couldn't feel my head. I was so paranoid. I was scared of myself. Attrition.org says, are good people down all day? You're slowly proving your ignorance out of our industry. One tweet at a time. Like, I'm gonna just say something, and I have never heard this kind of like boastful, braggart bullshit from anybody who is about business and not just trying to kill time. Type cyberspace as a fucking proper capitalized fucking fuck you noun, bro. That's fucking wild. That's fine. But what in the etymology got you here? I want to know how this happened. An error occurred while processing this directive. You mean the one to my butt? Anywho's, This can be our next little read. This is we received notice, or you get this later. Nope, later. We gotta earn it. Nope, later. Later. We'll go to errata and we'll read random stuff. I can bring you in on this lovely world of joy through going through, I'll give you the link to this because you'll really want that. But no, for fucking real. We're just gonna read these every so often because it is fun. It is fun. It is good, silly goose fun. And fight me. Wait, nope, gimme. Oh, companies could also be fun. Oh, yeah, just every company. I don't want just security companies. I want to, like, eat all their fucking shit. That sounds so funny. Okay, so we can continue on with what we're doing. This tab is relevant, and so is this tab. And this tab. What the fuck? Oh, no, that's fun, though. Okay, cool. Oh my gosh, I didn't
extensively to avoid
that
that level of detection, has advanced capabilities for evasion, the EDR, and of course an anti-user mode hooking to impede that level of analysis. So again, when it comes
Vex word mode, that the updated Vex demodex, the updated demodex rootkit uses legitimate Windows tools more extensively to avoid detection. Has enhanced EDR invasion capabilities, anti-user mode hooking to impede analysis, and use reflective loader, loading DL into memory to execute the core implant. Okay, the core implant, which is used to manage command and control. Oh, cool. Why these motherfuckers? I understand you're supposed to like capitalize brands and like stuff. And that's why I can give you a pass on capitalizing cyber command. But I think it's cyberspace command. I could be fuckballs wrong. I'm fucking ignorant as fuck. I'm ignorant as fuck and I'm not pretending about that. Like, some days I pull my shit off the ground barely. Anywho's. Okay, cool. What? The bypass DSE cheat engine, an open source tool used for video game cheating. It's used to manipulate memory and execute code in kernel space to install demodex. That's funny. That's funny. You put your command and control in by fucking up Windows with a fucking cheat engine. Oh my gosh. Yo, you gotta eat off the land. If that shit was already there or seemed reasonable or was on the network somehow or didn't like trip up other shit, do it. Like, use the tools that are there, or else you, like, the more things you bring in, the harder likely, more likely you get popped, you know? So, okay, if it was there already, or if it's just a thing that typically doesn't get booped because it doesn't get booped. Yeah, no, that makes sense. That sounds pretty clever. That's like, I usually 6 out of 10 things, and that's like great. That's at least a solid 8 out of 10 though. Maybe higher, but that's at least an 8.
To this level of cyber attack and cyber warfare, it's just as important to make sure your software looks about as legitimate as it can, and to fight against obvious like groups to, you know, analyze your software and possibly detect if, you know, it's similar to other identified pieces of software or malware that have been found, and how to counter attack against it. If you can impede the analysis, it's kind of like playing the game Plague Inc., right? Like, you develop a virus that, you know, countries are unable to create a resistance or a vaccine to, and the longer you can saturate this virus while people are spending their time trying to figure out what's going on or try to resist it, the better your hack will be, okay? You're basically just delaying the inevitable, and that is getting caught, as we saw a couple days ago. So interestingly enough, a piece of software that gamers probably know if you're on the PC side was actually ended up being used.
Sorry, I spoiled it.
So the core implant, which was used by people that was in single player games, was effectively being bypassed cheat engine, which was a tool that was used to manipulate memory and basically bypass a lot of microtransaction bullshit in single player games, was effectively being used in order to assist hiding the software. So it's interesting
funny.
looking at how a lot of these guys' like intricate state level kernel like hacking software is also intermixed with a lot of this open source stuff we pretty much use on a daily basis.
It should
Now,
be.
in this case, was demo ducks being used? No, it's just one of the things that they're most famous for.
Bring in as little shit as you can is the right way to go. Like, if all you have to do is manage your CNC shit, that's all you need to do. Everything else should be from somewhere else if you can. Like, you will leave some more indicators of, I'm not telling you what to do, but like the way you would think about that is, and I'm not trying to give you all guidance on bullshit, but you should think about it as if you were considering how we're going to look at someone who does this, the more they interact with it, right? If they use their fancy text editor and it starts like, if it has a bug and it does some weird bit shit, or if it like starts encoding things in a specific way, you can start to identify that people are working on multiple computers instead of just one. And so you want to just reduce the amount of times you can be noticed or something. And like the amounts, like you will eventually presume that the person will yield more habits about how they construct their shit the more they go, and also reuse tools, which might result in you identifying consistent things in their payload, which would compromise them, and they are trying to, while compromising you, not compromise themselves, you know? And so when analyzing it, that makes sense. Let's go.
But obviously what people were kind of highlighting was the fact that maybe that there was actually some reconfigured routers from Cisco that were used. Now obviously the guys over at Cisco were like, bro, we actually have no idea.
Like, you can just, okay, I'm not here. Historically, you could just like roll up out of nowhere and just, whoops-a-daisies, hi, what you doing? Install OpenWRT on some shit. Like, somebody could just be doing their shit and their router would be back up with the same password with OpenWRT.
What happened. And to be fair, I don't think anybody's really going to know until they actually
Well,
look
because then they can SSH through it and do SSH tunneling and shit.
through the software and peek.
Like, don't do it. But moreover, when looking at this, like, you can see the modality is like not trying to compromise themselves more, and that's like their goal is to not blow their shit up. It makes sense
for it themselves and get a real good idea and grasp. All they know is that they've literally been hacked by a group that is actually belonging to the Chinese government, whether or not they want to actually deny it.
I don't know what they're going off for attestation, and there's a lot of organizations independently making that statement. And bro, there's a landmass and there's a fucking nation land claim to it. Like, people are there, people were wherever though. People are just people. And like that thing about people's routers and shit, they could just be using someone, they could pop like 50 fucking routers there and just push it through there later. Like, you don't know for certain. Like, you can't make that statement until there's likely been a day in court. You can make stipulations and you can start assuming some shit, but that's, if anything, just assumptive. That's okay, but like to say definitively, oh, it's from this like state actor from this government, bro. Like, cause then that, first off, pause for a moment. Hold up. It already might, like, I'm interested in the actual scope. There's already a lot of predatory shit happening. This was a fun fucking read. Goddamn. Did I close the tab I liked? God damn it.
There's
Never
only
mind. Fuck
a
it.
few levels of people and groups that can do this kind of stuff at this level, and they usually need the backing of infinite resources that only governments can provide. So again, when it came to those wiretapping systems, a bunch of these organizations kind of claimed it, but half claimed it. In reality, they said there's some indication that that lawful intercept system was targeted, which is what one of the security officials said. And at the end of the day, nobody really can confirm unless you do a full thorough analysis. But for right now, to kind of minimize the panic and fear, you kind of have to basically, you know, just tell them, hey, nothing's confirmed. Hopefully it doesn't get confirmed to be the fact that that level of access was effectively violated. Because if it was, that means a lot of people's personal information might actually be put into risk. And I'd be interested in who, in fact, the Chinese government might have been targeting through this, whether they were high-level CEOs, whether they were like politicians, or somebody that had actual power that they specifically wanted to go after. The thing about these kind of organizations like Salt Typhoon is that they've basically been active since 2019. And according to Bleeping Computer, they literally were also responsible.
But now, if the government can say that they have no tie to the agency, what is there to actually make that attestation? What? It seems very jump the gunny, you know? Unless you've like done the whole like unless you've done the forbidden 3-2-1 no hackbacks. I mean, I guess they would be the ones to do that. They'd be saying you shouldn't do that to people, but then they go be doing that. Yeah, that does make sense.
For attacking hotels, engineering companies, and entire legal firms, not in the United States, but in places like Brazil, Burkina Faso, South Africa, Canada, Israel, France, Guatemala, Lithuania, Saudi Arabia, Taiwan, Thailand, and also the United Kingdom.
Day?
So in this case, they actually reference one specific vulnerability, which was the proxy logon vulnerability in the Microsoft Exchange server. So for instance, Microsoft Exchange, like those specific servers that were being targeted were mailing servers or calendaring servers. So again, people who are hosting their own email servers, they're the ones being targeted, especially if they don't constantly update and make sure securities are patched out. That's what these hackers are looking for. They have vulnerabilities. They scan the entire internet for a...
Oh my gosh, an organization was like exchanging their fucking they do. Oh, that would be so silly if they... Oh.
Again, any of those servers operating...
I know they won't be able to tell us how deep that one goes, but... Oh, what's going on, hun? Loki dear? Spell. What is the reason for the how, if you want to? You don't have to. But, you know, you can talk. You can, like... I'm here, doing stuff.
Can find out that they're running a vulnerable version of that server, they're going to launch all the malware they have against it and
There's also whole threads you can take up on a Discord if you want, and we can gab back and forth till your heart's content. Or until I eventually doze off. One of the two. I also have to do some chores later.
Gain access so they can harvest information and use it for nefarious purposes. So look, at the end of all this, I actually am glad that the Chinese government was caught hacking the United States internet service providers. And that's where the silver lining for all this comes in.
The silver lining is that in any statement that there is a backdoor being implemented, you can no longer make the statement that you've designed a secure system. Like you've designed a compromisable system with an intricate lock, and it will be compromised. You've immediately fucked it. And it does drive a point home, especially in close consideration to the, like, every time we fucking key into a Senate hearing. When a senator is like, oh, we need to be able to have a back door. It is a very good point. But attributing it to people who say it wasn't me, fuck you, it wasn't me, bro. It's still fucked up.
Out to. What really is the big part about this is not just, you know, the state government hacking people. Okay, that happens every day, all right? Complaining about that shit and worrying about that is basically the wrong, you know, path to go down. The one
no, it's great. Take this information to your local representatives. Like, legit, if you actually want to, like, help the fucking better privacy and security concerns, probably go email this to your local representatives. They probably have like a website you can go check out. Like, go tell them something. Go tell them that they should watch this, and just tell like your homies to hit them up and tell them why they should watch it, and then tell them why they should watch it, and tell them to stop asking for goddamn backdoors. Like, to be fair, like that would be fucking outstanding, because that would actually help. Like, you say you don't do local politics? No, you would be, because that's like improving the situations of you and everyone you fucking love around your ass at a local fucking level that doesn't involve anything else other than local shit for you, which you can see the impact in a lot quicker pace than doing other hopes at watching stuff, which is going to take a longer time, and I'm in it for that too. But if you want to see a quick return on that, do that locally. You'll actually see a good benefit.
that really got exposed out of this was the fact that ISPs were allegedly working with these law enforcement agencies and setting up actual access to data. So again, the concept of lawful intercepts, meaning that you literally sit—
Like, they need to subpoena it from the company, right? If it's in clear text, they need to subpoena it. That's it. So, also, tell them when they bring up Telegram about this too. Bring it back up a second fucking time. No, there's a lawful way. They may file they may go to a judge who will say if it can be like requested. The company will, if it's possible, yield it. If it's not possible, you do have to trust the company to be able to divulge how their technology functions, or then there's a charge for that too.
Down and provide court-approved wiretaps is the wrong play to have. And that's one of the reasons why I think like the FBI and a lot of these like law enforcement agencies are kind of hazy on confirming and talking about these situations, because inadvertently you have to admit that you have developed ways to spy on your own citizens in really fucked up avenues that shouldn't begin in the first place. Look, the idea of intercepting traffic that should be encrypted by having a third key is scary, not from the effort of it being used to spy on you, right? That's something that's been happening since the Patriot Act days.
So I wonder who else's ISPs have been doing this with their law enforcement. I wonder if they're reporting of events in their infrastructure, if their maintenance of their infrastructure, monitoring and alerting, and etc. is up to snuff. So if you're in these places too, or anywhere that has... What the fuck is this called again? This for Intelligence Alliance. Okay, I don't know how to find other intelligence alliances easily. It probably is, oh. I was gonna say search it, but then I just click on it. Okay, sick. Anywho's. So, you know, if you're like, I don't know, in any capacity stuck to one of these, maybe you'd want to do the same. You know, I'm just saying, like, it's a thing that does possibly still occur in more places. I know the United States has shitty, like, protections for, more importantly, for like intelligence alliances outright. We have shitty protections for our own people. In terms of health, education, civics, even just fucking consumer protections, it's really shitty. So I get that. Maybe you don't have those same fucking maladies, but you might want to go check.
Look, the government designing a system that they can peek into defeats the entire purpose of privacy and encryption in the first place. If another government can break into internet service providers and get access...
I, personally, don't like how the United States does physical security concerns as well. I do like how physical security concerns are managed, like, in other nations, though.
To those lawful, tools, and
that impact consumers, more importantly. The way that you get your locks designed. I have a preference to the cultures encouraged other places where there's an auditing done by just people who are people. They'll audit it and see how it holds up to snuff. And, in the States, you can be taken to court for trying to, like, demand more secure locks because you proved how to break the lock repeatedly.
Use them against the people that you're trying to protect, that means that system you fucking made should never work. It is the prime example of why governments should never get involved with trying to kill encryption, whether it be for protecting kids or protecting us from terrorists or criminals or really sick individuals. Ultimately, it costs you and me our privacy, and not just at the hand.
That rhymed so nicely. You and me, our privacy. No, but for real, like, if you give it away, like, the people who will really, really shun it, look at us now. Look at how ad agencies in the States are so prolific as to we can be given misinformation consistently. That is entirely egregious. We shouldn't be able to get away with that. Policy in Germany and in China would be a lot more kind to us in that context. Also that for keeping, like, in, for ads in general, but also in context of China for social media, people who make egregious and outlandish claims that give people negative health outcomes from listening all, like, hawk-eyed to their bullshit, that doesn't really help them either. And so we know that there are better frameworks for how to manage that. We see them, and instead of deferring to them, dun 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 dun, I'm so not sorry. I'm gonna keep, until I get fucking bored, running this into the ground that the United States does levy way too much prejudice against anyone from Asia, may it be from Afghanistan to the tip of Russia to our Aboriginal homies. No, just don't let it happen. Just stop it. Anywho's.
Hands of our own government, but randomly any other government that could exist. There are governments from Israel, from Iran, from any parts of the world that could just hack into these internet service providers because they've got the tech, the talent, and the money to do it. It's not that expensive, and they could get access to information and traffic and use it against people at a global scale. And again, going to the beginning of the video and talking about planting yourself in critical infrastructure, that's when it gets super duper scary. And that's one of the things people really have to watch out for. And I think that's the real story and the meat of this story. It's a bad idea to have a wiretap, and this hack is the perfect example of why it should never have happened to begin with. If you're really worried about an actual cyber attack happening and these organizations looking into your information, I think just the benefit of you being an unknown individual, and I say that because, again, you'd really have to be kind of like a politician or somebody in a position of power to effectively be targeted, which doesn't make the situation.
Yeah, no, we get dragnet swept up because you can use our personally identifiable information to like fraudulently interact with people who might be those people, but I don't think we matter so much as levying us as entities ephemerally to then, like, you know, do that kind of interfacing.
Any better, but at least for you, the viewer watching, I think you can be relatively assured that you're probably not specifically being targeted by the Chinese government. Now, some of these maps that you see on the internet, like this live...
Like, what I'm getting at is some companies buy and sell debt in bulk, right? Now, imagine how shitty their security concerns are when they're transporting and transmitting that data, and how many times they can be fined before they're put out of business. And how many have been for really shitty practices. They don't talk about who buys and sells the debt, they just do it, right? So just for a moment, consider that the scope of us as random ass motherfuckers is like turn and burn, use us for access and then just toss us when we're not useful, right? Which you can do without ever interacting with us. What is a useful real world example for this? Some video games that you could not, like some video games would release first in Korea and people would want to play them from the States. And so they would just like generate PII to then get access to these games because it was verified against some shit. Or they'd ask someone, you know, and they'd use their access to do that kind of stuff. So, you know, that's what they would kind of do. Oh, you're fine, honey. How you doing today? Don't worry about it. I think everyone was fine. I had no problem with anybody. You are all fine, honey. How are you doing?
A cyber threat map, which is an approximation as to what effectively happens on the internet at any given second, you know, illegal violations of internet traffic. You can see that everyone is effectively going at everyone. That's the benefit of actually having, you know, keyboard warfare. You can literally sit in the comfort of your own office, air conditioned perhaps, and just attack every single country on the face of the earth. Even if you're allied with them, there's probably a good chance.
Well, it doesn't have to be the nation, in quotes. Like, governments, yeah. But also bored teenagers. Also very bored teenagers. Bored teenagers also just bored teenagers and governments. They will fuck your cybersecurity, in quotes, posture up like a motherfucker. Oh my gosh. Hun Bun McFun Run. We're gonna come over to attrition later on and read about charlatans in information security and get InfoSec lore from the 2010s. 2010's fucking InfoSec lore. We're gonna read that sometime when I have fucking more spoons.
That you're doing stuff to spy on them. Sometimes you might even see some friendly action, like Canadian on Canadian action. But generally speaking, I wouldn't really worry so much if I were you. At the end of the day, yes, your internet service provider did get hacked. And if you're wondering, whoa, what can I do? I think getting rid of the existentialism that, like, listen, at the end of the day, it is your ISP. They're the people that control your information out there. There's only so much you can do to preserve your privacy on the internet. But generally speaking, I think the real meat and potatoes of this is the wake up that...
Like, you realize your entire infrastructure today that is attempted to be resilient to this bullshit and have better monitoring and reporting that has led to the ability for these companies to be able to say, oopsies, we got hacked, and not go 10 years without knowing it. The reason they can do that is because those bored teenagers grew up and went and did shit in their industries. Yep.
Yes, the government surveillance system is pretty active. You know, at any moment, these tools that are used to spy and I guess quote unquote protect you can in fact be given up to these people. This would be a infinitely more scarier story if instead of just the Chinese government, this would have been an actual criminal group that was using this information to steal identities, or, you know, possibly use this for a financial motivation.
Is it?
That's it, ladies and gentlemen. This is me, Mudahar, and if you like what you saw, please like, comment, and subscribe. Dislike if you dislike it, I am out.
Alternatively, well, I'll give you Muda's link too. But like, okay, I'm just saying, like, see, there's like good and kind and safe ways to do this that don't involve being a dick neck McFun butthole. Okay, cool. There's a war game, because war games are fun. Like, it's fun to like take your keyboard up with the LEDs on it and pretend it's a sword, but you should do that in safe and kind and not destructive ways. And there are like actual ways to do that though. Like, there's war games all over the internet. There's like whole websites made for people to like learn and teach each other. There's like whole fuckballs communities. When you get bored with that, learn to set up your own server and then learn how to breach it and shit. And then you're learning how to set up your own shit. And then you can do stuff too, because now you can like set up everything and you know how it works and you've read how it works and then you're doing stuff to it. And so now you're like able to test your shit against your shit and like grow yourself as you grow, and you don't need nobody. Don't need nobody, just you. Well, you need community, but like, you don't like need people. You benefit from people being present in your existence and sharing the world with you. But like, and you needed them to like, you know, give you shit to fuck with. But you know, once you have that shit to fuck with, you can take that artifact and like asynchronously do your shit, you know, as opposed to like, you know, none of those people that tell you gotta pay them some money to sit there. Nah, you can just do that shit asynchronously because the world gives you it all. All right, cool. I kind of want to be here, but when the fuck is it? Hi. I didn't get online till really late, and I'm gonna go lay down, and I'm sorry if you're mad at me, but you have to eat my butthole. And we have more TintCon, and I'll be on when I'm on in the morning, or the day, or whenever the fuck. I'll go to sleep and I'll wake up, and I want to come sit at the computer. And by happenstance, I just turn on OBS for some of the things I do at the computer, like play video games and watch shit on YouTube and talk about it with y'all. Because I would sit there and like research shit in the moment, and I only have to like, now I'm just, instead of like checking up on shit, I'm checking up on shit and talking about it with people, so that's kind of fun. NVIDIA is trying to make lower power consumption GPUs so they can get away with, like, when OpenAI refuses to stop stealing art, they can at least stop cooking the planet as severely, right? Uses less energy, which means you should expect less therms to have to cool from a given room, which means you need less power to cool a room of a certain temperature that is at that is achieving that temperature at a rate, right? Now you've reduced the rate at which it does that because the GPU should, in this case, hopefully reduce the overall thermal load of the machine that it imbues on the environment as a whole, right? So less power consumption, less heat. You want that because the way that these like art thieves who also like just go about doing whatever and taking people's voices, their visages, what have you, they'll like go about doing that shit in a weird ass way that cooks our planet, and this reduces that load, right? They're not gonna stop. They're demanding it in everything, every game they touch. It's getting really weird. There's still cases pending to deal with how they are acquiring data. Like OpenAI is running by the seat of its pants, and people that sell you products right now that depend on it, that's very weird, seeing as that product can't be insured right now because there are cases actively to thwart the active theft that it requires and that it has necessitated to provide what it does the way it does. Like, sorry, you would have taken a lot more time and money to train it otherwise if you didn't do it, and you used a cheap way to do it. And you know what? You're making money off of it now. You're a public company. Maybe someone could maybe the Library of Congress could just gobble you up. They used to archive all of Twitter up until 2017, then they just started doing select tweets. So for all the weird shit that people have done on Twitter, it's there, it's chilling. All right, so GPUs, they get better. Telcos, when emails happen, yeah, remember that they have contracts with other people. So where that, the proliferation of data that might be in any email or across any exchange server is varied depending on who and could be quite deep. The US is remarkably fucked up. If you are anyone from Asia, from Afghanistan to the tip of Russia to our Aboriginal homies, they will do anything they can to take your fucking home now, apparently. So, good job. I'm being a bit hyperbolic there, but do be vocal about the Florida thing. It's gone on for far too long. This has been going on since 2013. It's been in courts constantly, and it's still continuing, right? People get their hopes up when it seems to subside for a little, but it doesn't actually. It's still only gone to be considered further. It has only gotten continuations. It is not closed. Do not listen to people when they say it's over. It has only been continued. Okay, cool. We'll be here tomorrow for TintCon. I can close some tabs though. All right, sick. Wait, no, I can come here. I can do this. Twitch people, I have to raid you. YouTube people, I can't raid you yet. I will try to be more interesting so we can acquire more homies to hang out with, and mayhaps then we will be able to raid or some such thing. Maybe. I don't know. I guess. We're gonna go raid Rezi on Twitch. I'm gonna give you Rezi's link on Twitch and YouTube. Rezi streams also on both Twitch and YouTube. Rezi is doing fucking horror for the night because Rezi has good taste and is really kind to my ass and also likes horror. Hi. I also like horror. Okay, so thank you, Oodles, for hanging out with me. Thank you for letting me be a part of your day. YouTube folks, you can go whenever. Twitch folks, I'm raiding your asses out. You're coming with me. You're coming to see someone who's been kind to my punk ass. Also, they had to enable raids again recently, and I had to nag at them for this. You know how hard that is to deal with me nagging about something because I think it's important? It's difficult. Okay, so thank you all very much for letting me borrow your time, for being a part of your day, and most importantly for sharing your time with me, because you don't get time back, and I appreciate it. Thank you for spending it on me and with me. That was cool of you. Thank you. Be okay. Go say hello to Reservoir. If you're leaving on YouTube and you're effectively soft rating, tell Rezi where you came from. Remind Rezi that I stream on YouTube. Sick. If you're on Twitch, hi. Grab your pants. We're going. Wait a minute. Did it not? Does this motherfucker have raids turned off? I will fight you, bitch. Bitch, hold on. I need to go type to some man. Okay, I told him to turn them on right the fuck now. I did it loudly. Okay, good, he got me. Motherfucker didn't press save yet. Press save. Sir, press save. Rezi. 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 Thank you. Thank you, honey. I love you. Motherfucker. Okay, we're gonna go see Rezi, which for me is always a boon. Thank you very much. No, I'm not waiting. I can wait a little bit. Igloo, I got you for until what do you want? What you doing? What you up to? How you been? What you been thinking about? I love you, dear. Igloo. 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 I want to get off of the computer, dear. I will maybe... Can we do it for TintCon tomorrow? Please. TintCon tomorrow. Sorry. TintCon for tomorrow, honey. I apologize. Thank you. Okay, bye, y'all. Thank you for hanging out with me. I appreciate y'all.